Hello, Internet. My name is Ace, and today I want to do something a little bit different. Instead of going super cartoony like we have been doing with things in the past, I want to kind of look at how to take something like a cow and instead of going super cartoony with it, if we're still like caricaturing it somewhat, so it's still going to be on the kind of edge of cartoony, I guess, but just with a little bit more realism in it. Because in these videos I've been doing, like these how to draw a cartoon something, I've just been going from my head and kind of just not prior to the lessons, like not looking up like remotely anything to do with the what is it, the animal. I've just been kind of like like drawing what's in my head when I think of a raccoon or a rabbit or something like that. There's no actual real I guess like thought process really going into it. Is kind of just me just riffing, I guess. Right, so this is gonna be like a cow, and when I look at a cow, there's a lot of squares kind of going on. When I see a cow, we're going to look at it kind of front on, just maybe slightly to the side. So it's kind of this would be our center line, this kind of thing. So to me, when I think of a cow, like I say, I think of this square muzzly thing, and I think of like a big like rectangle, squarey kind of head behind. Now, again, there's no real thought and anatomy going into this than that you would have on, say if I was drawing like really strict and was working from reference and all these kind of things. But this is kind of just how I would approach a cow. I had a look at a bunch of cows. I actually went and looked at real cows. I thought, I'll get out of the house. There's a nice big cow field near me, around the corner, and I thought I'll just walk down there. Cows are really friendly. Okay, so like I say, I've started with like basically a square and a rectangle behind it. And the reason why I've done this is because you need to start thinking like a bit abstract with your shapes instead of just going in thinking about anatomy and stuff like that. You really need to break things down into shapes before you before you just start drawing. So here I'm just gonna kind of I'm just gonna add a bit of form, I guess, to this anatomy, to these squares. And like I say, there's no real like cow anatomy going on or anything like that. So as you can see here, I've basically brought this up into probably about a quarter, something like that. This square, it's like this. I've kind of took like a quarter, and this is going to be like the bottom lip, and then you've got the nose kind of thing on top. And you could go more rounded with the forms. You could do like a rounded muzzle or something like that. I mean, if I hadn't gone and played with some cows, which is a sense I never thought I would say, then I probably would have done like a round muzzle. So yes, I went to the field near me and just went to the gate that was there, and all these cows just like ran up to me, like maybe like 20 cows or something like that. All ran out, kind of say like, "Hey man, how's it going?" I was like, "Yeah, it's going good." And they would let me like stroke them. I don't know if they like being stroked, but they didn't disagree with it. And one of them burped on my hand, which I never thought I'd have a cow burp on my hand, but there we go. So as you can see round here, what I've done is there's this form, and it kind of wraps around. So this is like I guess the bottom lip. Then this is the kind of what is going on here? Sorry, just a second. There we go. Then this going around here is like the top lip, kind of like jowls, kind of wrapping around this, and this is the actual mouth here. So that's what we're trying to achieve with this. So there we go. So I'm just trying to break these down into like simple, simplified shapes of what I was looking at when I was looking at the cows. Okay. So there we go. So this is kind of how the muzzle's kind of shaped, and some of them they have like patterns on. Like I was really looking at the cows, and some of them got like these like shapes that cut into it like this. In fact, we'll probably do something like that on this one. So this here is the mouth, and say if this is the center line, like so, then let's go in a bit like this. I'm not sure if the cows had this, but it's kind of just makes the joins make a bit more, just add a bit more form, because this one's obviously in front like so, to the joins. Like I say, we're creating a join here rather than something that's going to be in a veterinarian anatomy book or anything like that. So we're thinking about the image first rather than anything else. So there we go. Got that kind of tucks up like so. Right, so let's just fill this out a little bit more. Like so. And then they have these like, almost like a bit of a, I'm not sure what this, but you know, like turkeys or chickens or whatever, they have this like kind of wattle thing. You know, like a little bit of that going on, but nothing too extreme. So yeah, so there's the kind of form, and you can see these starting to go together. So what I'll do is I will add a little pattern on here just to kind of signify like a, so it kind of feels a bit like more like an like upper lip, bottom lip, sorry. Because when, as humans, we like to kind of humanize things as much as possible. Because we're arrogant like that. We're like, yo, that doesn't represent me. Don't look good. So what I'm doing is just kind of adding slight human qualities to it. Okay, so then they've got these quite big, bulbous, like, you know what, I'll admit something right now. I have no idea what the word bulbous means. I know people talk about when people got these, like, these kind of, like, noses like this. Kind of going on. Like this kind of nose. But I don't really know what it means in real life. Right, so, yeah, let's take a look at this cow a bit more. So I'm just going to cross like this to kind of measure my nostril somewhat. Now we don't want things absolutely perfect. We do want a bit of variation. I'm loving this bottom lip. This would be like darker right here, something like that. Have like a darker pattern, because that's obviously what we look like. It's got to look like me. This is a self-portrait, I guess, at the moment. This is my self-portrait. Now, what I was always used to think from memory, prior to actually going and having a little tea party with some cows, is the fact that, like, on a cow's muzzle, nose thing, let's kind of just draw super cartoony, you would have, like, this shape, and this kind of shape. I know they're not even. And then you'd have like this to signify like forms, and that kind of just says that the thing is like just a hole in the face, which I guess it is, but there's a lot more depth at this side than at this side, so it kind of like gradually goes in. I bet the cows thought, man, what is this dude doing? Just staring at us all weird. So they kind of have this fold. I should have I had my phone with me, so I should have got like a lot of good reference for the cows. That'd have been fun. But I like testing myself and trying to remember things. I think it's better for the mind, better for the soul. It's better for the what is it better for? I'm saying it's better for something. I don't really know what it's better for. I kind of like to test kind of like the mind and like how to remember things, because I think if you're just drawing from reference mindlessly, if you're drawing from reference mindfully, that's different. But if you're just mindlessly drawing from reference, then you're not actually learning much about the forms of an animal, a person, whatever it is that you're drawing. You're kind of just drawing what's in front of you. I think it's important to really look at what you're doing. Now, I may do a video in the future on how to get better at art, that kind of thing, and what you should do daily and what have you. Because everyone says, just draw every day. Draw every day and you'll get better at it. And there is some of that. There is some truth to that, definitely. We as human beings, we get better at things the more time we do. And that's why I hate it when someone will come up to me. I bet like this just doesn't happen randomly in the street, but if someone says, "Oh God, you're so talented. You're just so talented. You're like a natural drawer or a natural musician." I was a musician for the majority of my life, and the amount of people go, "Oh, you're such a natural musician. You can just play, man. You can just play. You're awesome." And it's like, no, that's annoying. No, the reason why I'm good is because I would spend like 15 to 20 hours, not 15 to 20 hours, what I'm talking about, like 10 to 12 hours every day playing the guitar or whatever. And it's like, that's why I was good. And that's why I made like a solid career out of playing for different artists and in the studio. I would do lots of live touring. Do for a lot of lots of like theatre shows and things like that. Right, so we've got this bottom lip here. Let me just fill that in. Now there would actually be a highlight like on here somewhere. So I'm just crudely doing this with my eraser, because this is just like a rough sketch. Like, you shouldn't really be putting form in at this point. When you, what am I talking about? Rendering in at this point, when you're just kind of getting the forms down. I mean, you can. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. But I like to really get the forms down so I understand them before I'm rendering. Which I'm just throwing caution to the wind, man. Today, I don't care. In fact, what I might do, if I like the way this turns out, I may redraw it or kind of go and take some photo reference. I may do a full-on painting, digital painting of this cow or another cow. And again, we're just adding this pattern in to kind of add interest. Now, some of them did have patterns like this. Yeah, so I'll maybe do like a full-on painting kind of illustration of a cow, if people want it. You should go and check out the dog that I did on my YouTube channel. You just click my name down below and go and check the dog out, because that was like more of a full illustration. If people want to see that and see the process, then what I'll do is I'll record that. And so if you want to see that, just leave a comment down below and let me know. So this is kind of more like how to draw. I guess it's how to draw a cow in a way, but it's there's a bit more. It's more of just watching me sketch and think through something, which I think videos like this are just as useful as pure tutorials, because sometimes it's good to see people work, like how they approach things rather than tutorials, because I mean sometimes you can't help but kind of say, this is how I do something, and you know what, it's not always right. So they've got these big bulgy kind of, you know what it really remind me of, I don't know if you've ever got like, you've ever been like French kissing a giraffe. They've got long tongues, it's fun. Don't do that, by the way, this is me joking. Then the eyes on this, on a cow, really remind me of giraffe eyes. Right, okay, so they've got these big bulge things like this. If you leave it like that now, it looks like they've got these kind of like funky glasses on. But in fact, this one's probably the right size, and this one needs to be a little bit smaller. Maybe. Let's have a look. Like something like this going on. Now I feel like this is maybe coming a little bit too close here. Now, this is just going to be the structure. Obviously, we're not just going to leave that in like so. There, that's feeling a little bit more natural. Is it or isn't it? Who knows? Let's just draw and see. Okay, so they've got this. Obviously, what we're trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Accomplish is the fact that this is what they look like from the side. They've got the snout here, which is this thing that we've just drawn. Then this comes forward to their eye region that's here. They've obviously got their ears and stuff. And that picture there is why you just start going and just draw without any guides or form, because it looks like street trash. Right, so let's see where we're at. So we need to kind of bring this like muzzle shit forward. It needs to really feel like that. Now, if you was painting it, you'd be doing this with like your values and stuff. But we're just obviously just doing a quick sketch, which is probably going to turn into a bit more quick because I'm talking. I normally sketch a lot quicker than this, but when I'm talking, take some thought. So as you can see, we've just built a little bit of maybe bring it down a little bit. It kind of went to like midway on the eyes is kind of where this part starts to come out like that. So that's what we're kind of trying to achieve there. It's like midway on the eyes, and this bit's coming out like so. So we've got like a kind of rough feeling thing going on there. Another thing that I do when I'm sketching, which probably ain't the best for watching, is I'll just, if there's something that catches my eye, I'll just go and like try and change it. Right, so we've got this kind of thing. Now I'm not going to clean the image up, I'm just going to leave it scribbly, because I think that's how I would work going into a painting. I work very scribbly, and the sketch is not about being clean. The sketch is about figuring forms out. Okay, so these here are the eyeballs. Now, they've got, like I say, these huge giraffe. The giraffes have these crazy eyes that come out like this, and camels as well. Camels have got this. So we're going to build like on top of these eyes. So remember, these are forms. So we're going to really wrap around that like so. We're not going to kind of come all the way across like this, because their eyes aren't structured like that. I believe they come across to like a midway point. Something like that. Does that feel about right? Maybe. Maybe we'll go cuddle some cows again and see. And again, these forms are wrapping around this. So we've got a sphere here, and we really want these forms to wrap around them like so, like this. Like, look, if we was going here, this is really wrapping and feeling like it's on top. Now that's what we're doing with this. We really want this to feel like, here's the eyeball coming round like so. This line that we've thickened up, and there needs to be thickness here, like so. And that's gonna come onto the sphere. And their eyes were like, are a bit freaky actually when you smooching a cow and you get real up on those eyes. Things look pretty freaky. There we go. So we've got this feeling of the kind of eyes are like ours, where they've obviously got the ball, they've got their the retina, the pupil, all that kind of crap. They've got that in there, but this section is like takes up like a huge portion of the eye, so they kind of look like they're really staring you down. And like the pupils are like huge things. So got this kind of feeling to them. Not a lot of white shows on a cow's eye. We've got just that little triangle there showing. I've maybe gone a bit wild with these eyes, but that's what we like. Think like a caricature artist rather than a like wildlife anatomy book. Are cows even wild? Do you even get wild cows? Maybe. Never seen them. Right, there we go. Like so, and then they had these like flat, like a thick lower eyelid. And if you're out in the wild all day and you've got flies coming at you because you stink, then you're probably going to need to have big eyelashes. Like I say, these animals were like super tame. They just like came across and was just wanted to chill. And yeah, I was just giving like a big hug and all stuff like that. Now I don't profess to know anything really about animal skulls and animal anatomy, but let's add like a bulge here for something that would, I guess, represent like a cheekbone on a human. That kind of thing, and then I guess we want to really think about what's in front of what. And because this is coming forward, this part is going to be in front of this part, which is in front of this part. This is looking like a gnarly cow. This is a crazy cow. Right, so let's add a little bit of a highlight on there, but nothing like too extreme. There we go, scribble that in. Like I said, this is just a very rough sketch. This is nothing cleaned up, and like I say, I'll maybe take my camera and get some snaps of some cows and like really get something great and do a painting, or I'll just paint this thing. So it'll probably turn out looking kind of funny. And I can always go in and change bits that I don't like. Like I kind of would like this muzzle to have been a bit bigger, because the muzzle is the funny part for me. I mean, they've got these really funny eyes, but the muzzle's funny. So here we're gonna like make it so it feels like it's wrapping around this part here. Like so. And then in here, just down a little. Now, like I say, all these forms will be defined a lot more with the values stage of the painting. Now what I'll do is I'll take a soft eraser and kind of get rid of a few of those guidelines, just to make it look slightly prettier. It's not going to look anything It's not the prettiest picture in the world, but it doesn't need to be. Then on this side, as you can see, we drew this eye like smaller than this eye because it's kind of going around the form somewhat. So we're still coming off like so, and then what we'll do is we kind of want to make it feel like it's around the same size as this thing. So we're going to come up and in like so. Remember, we're working on a sphere, and this thing's kind of going to have slightly different shape to this one over here because it's going away from us. The sphere is moving away. Yeah, let's make that a lot nicer, like so. And then let's define the eyeball. Then let's really bring. They've got another thing which I forgot. They've got these awesome eyelashes. Like they've got these like cartoon eyelash things going on, and I think animals like giraffes and stuff, they've got a very similar thing going on. It's probably because they've got such big eyeballs that they need to, like I say, keep the flies and stuff out of the way. So got this kind of like crazy thing going on. Let's do some stray ones going down. Do some other stray ones like so. Those crazy eyelashes. And like I say, it's probably just because they've got these huge eyeballs, and I don't know why they've got such big eyeballs. It's not that difficult to find grass. But I didn't invent cows. If I did, actually I'd leave them exactly like they are. They're perfect. They're awesome. Right, so we've got this thing going on. Then let's add a couple more bulges on this side just to really add interest. I mean, they're probably not going to be there on a real animal, but we're not creating a real animal. We're creating interest. We're creating art. Right, so this thing here is going to kind of follow this like round. I guess like so. That's kind of looking right. Then we've got the huge eyeball, but I'm just seeing certain things in here. I just want to really pay attention to this anatomy. So let's just really make these things bulge off. Oh, let me get my soft eraser and just get rid of this thing. And redraw it in. There we go. Not sure what this would kind of be. I guess it'd be like the brow line. But they obviously don't have eyebrows, so they've just got these huge, crazy eyes. Right, so off here, I'll do the eyeball of the other one in a second. So off here, what we want to do is build this kind of like little head area, which I feel like the horns are here, but these cows look like they'd had the horns like cut off, which can't be very nice for the cow. But I guess, I don't know what reasoning is. Now, as you can tell with this, is we're trying to build these really organic forms. We're not trying to kind of build anything like super, like animatable or anything like that. Like, I mean, no one in their right mind would try and animate something this detailed. So we're trying to just build organic forms and push things as much as we can. Like this. Again, I remember seeing something in this area. Like this is bone and this is muscle kind of thing. Like we have obviously in different, like we have on our back, the lower back, where we've got on the pelvic region, we've got the iliac crest, and then we've got this these kind of like marks that appear like this on our lower back. Kind of like that. The iliac crest of the forehead. Makes no sense. Right. So that's how that's kind of forming. So we've got this muscle. And again, if I knew more about, if I studied the actual anatomy of animals and of cows specifically, then we'd have a lot more anatomically correct image. But this is kind of like caricatured and guessed, and almost certainly not right. But we're getting a cool enough image off this, which is going to be fun to work with, especially if we do like a painting or anything like that. And we're just pushing the objects that we like the most and making the things that we don't like as much recede. So let's just add a little bit of interest on here. Add a little bit of a like pattern to go around like this. Just a bit of darkness on there. Like this kind of thing. You won't see as much on this side because the muzzle will be, I think that's a muzzle, whatever it's called. Let's make it fold in on itself a little bit like that. So we've got this nice, we would have like a sharpish edge with the values because we've got like dark, and then there would obviously be that lightness on there. Again, I don't always worry about this stuff in the sketch phase. It's good to, because the sketch is where you design it, is good to think about these things, like think about it from a design point of view of like how the what's the word, like how like dark things against light things are going to kind of show and stuff like that. So that becomes the design. Like if we was doing like the side of a cow and they've got these weird backs, that's one thing I really didn't notice. So say if we're designing the side of a cow, like where do we put these patches and what shape are they and all stuff like that. That's the kind of things we're thinking about. Like breaking things up, we've got darks, lights, and everything like that. There we go. And it's just an iterative process. There's nothing like particularly right and wrong about this image. There's a lot wrong about this image actually, but if we're getting something that we like, then that's all that matters, I think. Mind you, if we're talking about human anatomy and things like that, I'm very strict with myself on my human anatomy. I know a lot about the different bones and muscles and things like that. I've researched that stuff. I feel like that stuff's very important. And obviously if I was going into like nature drawing, even if I was kind of sticking to this illustrative, caricature kind of look, I would definitely learn a lot more about cows and about whatever animal that I'm drawing, actually, not just cows. Right, so let's kind of stick that around about there. Now you probably wouldn't get like the highlight. You'd maybe get a slight highlight along here on this eye. Soften that a little bit. Maybe we got a slight highlight, something like that. Because you want it to be the side that the light is coming from. So you probably wouldn't even get the highlight right there, but who cares? We're designing. And things want to be based in reality, but you don't want to be too stiff with your drawings and too focused on anatomy. If even on human drawing, like I said, you need to learn anatomy to kind of influence your choice. So your choice of things work makes sense. They don't need to fully be perfect, but they need to make sense and like proportion wise and things like that. Right. Let's have a look what's going on in there. Let's darken some of this up a little bit. Let me just, it's good to sit back sometimes and take a look. Yeah, now this don't look like super like a cow, but it's who cares? It's fun. It's just fun. That's what this YouTube channel is about. It's about having fun with art, and that's what I like. Like caricature, having fun. What I'll do in a minute, I'll maybe make that muzzle a little bit bigger, just to see what we can kind of like push. And then they've got this like little tuft of hair thing like there, so probably. Now again, built on here, they probably would have. Let's add a bit more interest by flattening this top a little like this. Now, I feel like they're probably in here somewhere would be where the horns were, but they'd been cut off. I don't know if that's general practice, or if they had just been cut off, or if they hadn't been cut off, but they just looked as though they had. Now here I was thinking about tangents because I was like, oh, it's going to come from about here, but if we zoom in, we've got this object here that's wrapping around here, and if we come in from behind like this to form the ear out, then we're going to create a thing called a tangent. Now we'll do a video in the future on tangents, but basically you just, without me going into too much detail, just try and avoid having like 3 intersecting lines touch each other, and you'll be fine. I can't actually fully remember the shape of a cow's ear, so I'm just going on my what is it, like raccoon ideology here, where it's just whatever's in my head is gonna do. Now I feel like these are probably turned away. They're probably not that as big as that, so let's come in like that, maybe. Is it going to be more like it? Probably. Then let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's bring that from here. Then let's go a bit more organic, and I'm not really too keen on that left ear. So let's rub all this junk out that we've got here. Get it out the way. Now whilst I'm talking, if you've enjoyed this video, just click the subscribe button down below. It really does help to get new subscribers and likes and comments and all that stuff. So this channel is new, and the more we can spread the word about it, the better it is to line my pockets with gold. I'm being silly, by the way. I enjoy providing all this stuff. I'm a fan of the ideology that education should be free. So that's kind of what my thinking was for this. Now, I'm not slagging off people that charge for lessons or anything like that, because I also believe that good teachers should be paid handsomely for their skill, because they're providing things for future generations and things like that. And so it's kind of tough when you talk about art education. Especially, I'm not like a huge fan of a lot of the art colleges. A lot of them just have teachers that really don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, but at least I'm not like a college professor. Some colleges I certainly could be. Got this kind of thing going on. Like so, let's tuck it into there, build out some of that anatomy. Let's grab the soft eraser. There we go. There we go. That's kind of looking somewhat cowish. And it's just a sketch. I'm not going to go in there and really like signify all the different hair lines and things like that. But we'd have like hair coming off here and around and all this kind of stuff. Like so. On this side, similar thing. They've got like really hairy upper ears. Like this kind of thing going on. Like all this area is just like really, really hairy. There we go. So I kind of enjoyed doing this because it's been like kind of what's going on here. Obviously the touch is on my screen, so I can kind of zoom in and out like that. But obviously at some point my hand has triggered I need to get one of those smudge guard things. Obviously my hand has triggered the Cintiq screen to tell it to erase. Right, so like I say, I'll play around a little bit and let's just duplicate the layer. Oh, that looked freaky. And I don't know whether to do a bit of a body or not. In fact, let me just add a little bit of, not cross-hatching, but I guess it is cross-hatching, even though it's just scribble hatching. Like so. Just build a bit of that form up. Just a little bit in that ear. If you imagine that there's a lot of hair, fair and all that rubbish going on. There we go. Let's do the same this side. So along here wants to have the brunt of it where all that hair's all built up. Like so. Yeah, like I said, it's been different for this channel doing something like this. Now, I've got like a lot more bigger projects coming up that I'm doing on the channel. So I've got like a proper caricature with a real human that I'm doing, which is going to be Big Bang Theory themed. And that's going to be coming out this week and next week, I think. And it's going to be a full-on, like real full-on painting, like fake oil painting, I guess, via digital. It's going to be very, very in-depth. It's going to be like 30-hour painting or something like that. But I'm not going to obviously do it all real time, because it'll take me even longer. It'll take me like 50 hours if I'm talking through everything. But I'm going to record everything and speed things up and talk about the way I'm doing things. So like I say, I wanted to duplicate this. Look, it's happened again in here, look. It's just erased something. Oh well. Then let me grab the lasso tool, like so. There we go. And then let's just see what this looks like. Oh yeah, this is the thing right here, man. I knew I should have done the muzzle a little bigger, because so it just really feels like it's coming towards the camera. I always feel like I'm cheating when I'm increasing the size of things. And in fact, what I would have normally done, to be honest, I'd have done like thumbnails and stuff like that and picked a version that I like instead of just going straight into drawing. If I was drawing this for like a commission or something like so, what I would have done is I'd have drawn like some boxes and stuff, and then I'd have gone right, I want this like huge muzzle in here and this, and kind of done some like real quick sketches like this to see what it would feel like, and then I would build it up from there. But I didn't do that just for the sake of time, really, for this channel. There's another thing that I did, which was a theatre group asked me to do a poster for like a Disney themed thing that they have. I don't know if it was an exhibition or if it's like a play or something that they've got coming up. So I did that, and it recorded my process doing that. Now, I never have been, never will be, because it's not something that interests me really, being a graphic designer. So, like I said, I'm just tucking this in here. So we've definitely got a bit of space between these two things. We don't want to get rid of the interest. Yeah, I'm not a graphic designer. I wouldn't profess to be a graphic designer, and I don't think I'd enjoy. I'd kind of enjoy it, I guess, but it's just not something that I'm well versed in enough to talk authoritatively about, if that is indeed a word. If not, it certainly should be. Right, what's going on with this bit here? Was that a bit underneath? Oh, yeah, okay. So as you can see, this thing looks more like the proportions of a cow. This thing looks like a crazy cow. Like a really crazy cow. You know what? I like my crazy cows. Now I would go in there and simplify some of these forms somewhat, because this is super organic. This is like really feeling the organicness, like here, which I like sometimes. Sometimes I like a more slightly graphic approach. I don't know what you say. Yeah, so there's that kind of like look. Let's compare that to the original. I mean, that, like I say, that one looks more realistic, but that one's kind of just looking kind of mean and cool. Now, I won't do a body on it yet. If you want to see me finish this off, do a body and kind of take it to a more finished painting, then, like I say, just add a comment down below. And I would actually really like to do that. That'd be quite fun. Just changing the shapes here, just to, like I say, there's no, like, definitely no solid anatomy going into here. This is just through observations of cows and forms and things like that. Obviously, you'd have the body in here, you'd have the legs down here, then you've got this really weird back thing going on. Like, let me just quickly. Is that one slightly smaller? They've got these hips that like really jut out like this. I don't know if these were like malnutrition cows or whatever, but they had these like really huge like hip things, and then they had obviously they've got the spine here that would like wrap around, and then the legs would like come down like this. They've got this really crazy anatomy kind of stuff going on with them. Right, okay, so that's kind of been what I would do. You know what I don't like? I'm not a total fan of what's going on down here. So I am going to, in fact, change it for you right now. Like, that looks far better. So what I'm feeling is that this section that comes off here needs to be a little bit smaller. And if that's a little smaller, we're going to be better for it, I think. Then that would wrap up there. Then this part would connect down there. There we go. That feels a little better to me. Okay, so that's kind of how I would approach sketching a crazy looking cow. And obviously, like I said, I'd refine it a lot more than this, and paint it and everything like that. So, if you've enjoyed this, got any entertainment or knowledge out of this whatsoever, or how you can next approach a drawing, please click the like button and please share it and leave comments and things like that. If there's anything you want to see me cover in the future, just let me know, and I'll try my hardest to do that. Okay? Right, so until the next video, till the next time I see you, everything like that, have an awesome time, and I will see you next time. Alright? Bye-bye.